How is it? How's everything? Hey, man. All right, guys, so we are at a house that we have here in Winter Park. This is a flip that we're in the midst of. Actually, let's start. I want to show them something real quick. So we are by Dubsdread. Technically, it's Winter Park address, but there's Dubsdread. And so a lot of people are like, oh, that's College Park. Oh, whatever. Like, yes, technically, you know, I feel like it's College Park too, but the address we have is Winter Park. So this is on Minnesota here, right off I-4. And we are mid-reno in this house. So what we've done thus far is we have taken down a wall. I'll probably throw up some pictures of like what it looked like prior. I wish I had some footage, I didn't get any. We took down the wall here because the kitchen kind of felt like super small and tucked away. Like when you walked in, everything kind of felt closed. It wasn't near as open. So we immediately took down the wall. We took out like the little extra fixture they had here as well, just to get that more open feel. And so we're working on that. New cabinets everywhere. We're gonna paint the whole inside of the house. We had the floors resurfaced to keep the hardwood floors. And so I'm a big fan of that. Come inside here and we have, oh, well, there's no electric. But if you can see here, we redid this bathroom. This is the guest bathroom. We don't have electric up in here, which I don't know why. We actually have our electric guy here right now, so he's working on that. Hence the open box here. And then there's 3 bedrooms on this side. So listen, it's like an older house, don't get me wrong, but it's still like, I think it's super clean. And so we didn't have to do a whole lot. Honestly, it was in really good shape. So we've just painted everything, redone the floors, redoing 1 bathroom, and then I'll show you the addition in the back. But you know, decent size, new windows that were done from the previous owner. And honestly, like I said, on this side of the house, besides that bathroom and painting, we're not doing a whole lot. And then of course, electric. So then I'll take you to something that I really like about it. We're keeping the floors here. I know that there's like 3 different floorings, but all things considered, we're not trying to spend a ton of money. This is like what we call a wholesale. Buy it, do a little bit of reno, and then relist it. So you come back here, and once again, this was here when I bought it. So we got a really good deal. This is an addition that they added, I think like 2 years ago, maybe 3. So the house originally ended right here, and then they just added this whole new addition. So you come to the left, and this is like another, I mean, heck, this could be like another master suite, honestly, because they added this suite bathroom. Let's see if the lights work in here. Nice, they do. So like new vanity, new tile, new bath. Honestly, really, really solid. I have not touched anything back here. And so this is exactly how it came. You know, a little different, but I like it. A lot of people have said it looks pretty good. And so washer and dryers in here. This is completely added by the previous owner. So we got a really good deal. My favorite, honestly, spot in the whole house is like this sunken like living room type area. The way they had it set up prior was they just had a big TV. And then we had like some couches in here, and it felt like honestly pretty sweet. So it was a good extension of the house. A little bit about what we had numbers wise and what we're doing with it. So we bought it, it was listed on the MLS. The lady needed to move pretty quick. And there was a few problems like with electric and just a few like little things that needed to be done. And so she needed a cash buyer. And I was like, hey, I can close in a week. We gotta be at 315. And so we bought it for 315. It was listed at like 440. We're gonna put like $15,000 to $20,000 into it. And after we like renovate that kitchen, update that bathroom, I think we're gonna get like 440, probably 450. And that's probably being decently generous. We also have a huge backyard back here. Uh-oh. This is a big perk because it's a big lot. And here's the cool thing about what's happening here in like this College Park area. And we'll go walk over there and show you. But what everyone's doing right now is they're buying some older homes, and instead of flipping them, they're just tearing them down and building new like multi-million-dollar houses. So if you see, quite literally, let's see, 1, 2, like 4 lots over, like 3 lots over on the corner, you can see the top of like the wooden framing of that house over there. That's exactly what they did. They bought that house, tore it down, and they're building a $2.5 million house over there. And so one thing that I thought about this is I'm like, well, maybe, and I'm still deciding, maybe I'm just gonna keep this house because the area is like insane. It's super good. and eventually maybe just knock it down and build a new one like that, because they're paying $400,000 or $500,000 just for lots. And so I like being in my position to where I've got a renovated 4.2 and I can sell that thing for $450 and he's selling his for $2.5 million. Not bad, not bad. So here's the addition as well. We'll come back over to the front so I can kind of show you a little bit more about like the curb appeal side of things. And here's the cool part. So that's literally a T box at Dub's Dread. And so, I mean, it doesn't get a whole lot better than that. You have a T box there. You have our house here. I mean, it looks pretty good, you know? I mean, look at the curb appeal. Not bad. We didn't have to do anything to that, so we got really lucky. But 4.2 here, I mean, it comes down to one of those things where it's like the location's too good to get passed up. And I personally have even thought, I'm like, shoot, man, maybe I should keep it and live here myself, because I could literally walk and drive my golf cart right over there. So downsides, I'll be so real. Yes, a little bit busier of a road. And then over here, you can see we've got I-4 right there. I don't know if you can see in the background, which some people don't like that. I get it because the noise, whatever, but like location-wise, it's hot. And that's what we got going on with this one. So all big tickets are gonna be good. We have our electrician here right now. He's fixing things. AC's good, roof's good. Inside's gonna be completely redone with like updating some paint and bathroom. And so honestly, this one's gonna be solid. We bought it literally, I think right now 2 weeks ago, and it'll be ready in like a week. So like quick, to the point, and hopefully it'll sell for like mid-4s. So that's my update on this one in Winter Park, College Park, but Winter Park. All right, guys, so another flip that is completely done here in Kissimmee, Florida. And this one is fully renovated. We're actually under contract to sell, but I wanna walk you through it, kind of let you know what we did, kind of how much we spent, the whole nine, and kind of let you know. So we have the nicest house in the neighborhood now, you know, shout out to that. I think it looks pretty good based on everything. So I'll give you a walk through what we did and like a complete and utter breakdown of everything from start to finish. All right, so painted the outside, obviously. I'll talk about the outside stuff in a little bit, but come inside. What we did is previously this was like an enclosed wall, and so like the kitchen was like kind of crammed, so we took that down, opened everything up. New countertops, new cabinets, new appliances, new floors, painted everything. There's like a little nook area over here. All is completely updated. Honestly, I really like the floors. As a matter of fact, I'm gonna use these floors in my house. So, you know, there's that. Come in, and right to the right, we have the, garage that we kind of did the flooring on. We painted the inside, new hot water heater, new AC, electrics updated, new garage door opener, new everything. That's to the right. This is a 3-bed, 2-bath. And so you can come over here. There's a way to go to the pool. We'll go there in a second. We did 3 beds back here. So 2 normal beds on this side. Typical, redid those. Redid the bathroom here. Did like this gray tile, new vanities, new mirrors, and then the master bedroom is over to the right. So you come in here, have access to the pool, and we also have a master bath in here. So stand-up shower, new vanity, and new mirror over here as well. So all in all, I think it came out really nice. New roof, like I said, new big ticket items. We had to resurface the pool, which we can go out there now. Oops. So resurface the pool. It's a little bit dirty now, so I need to turn on the pump, but you know, it's redone. The pool deck was redone as well, painted in the back. And that's pretty much like everything you can redo in a house. I mean, honestly, so we did that. We bought it for $181,000. We put like around $80,000 into it. And so that was how much this whole renovation took. It took about 2 or 3 months because we had a few hiccups as per usual with like our old crew, and it just got a little bit hairy, but it's done now. Hopefully we're gonna be selling it this month. I'm not gonna talk about like what we're selling it for yet because I don't wanna jinx it, but hopefully, you know, if things go smoothly, I'll do a breakdown later about what we sold it for and stuff like that. We're gonna be happy with this one, but I mean, I think it's a good product. I mean, for the price point and all things considered, I'll close this here. I think that it's really nice. Like I said, I mean, we really wanted to make sure that in the area, we want to have the best product at honestly one of the best prices. So like what everyone else is selling for, pretty much, we want to be right around there, and we just want to be nicer than everybody. That's just kind of what you got to do in the market right now, because the market is obviously not the best, especially in Florida, because what ends up happening and what has happened is inventory. So the amount of houses for sale has gone up. Ever since like post-COVID, it's gotten pretty crazy. And so a lot of the areas we flip in, everyone's got options. And so how do you win when everybody has a lot of options? You try to make the nicest house at the best price. And then when everybody's like, okay, if I have 10 to pick from, I'm gonna pick yours. And that's kind of like the mindset you have to have. And so that's why we've tried to like really do all the rehabs for the stuff that we've done. We have to like make them a little bit nicer, you know, like add a little like there's beadboard here, and make sure we do like some good finishes, some good appliances, stuff like that, right? So that's the thought process behind where we're at in the market. And hopefully this one does well. And that, like I said, from start to finish, maybe it'll be 4 to 5. Maybe we've owned it for 6 months by the time it sells. So actually, no, probably not that long. Maybe 4 months, which is pretty good, honestly. Anything like 4 or 5 months or under from like buy to sell is pretty good in this market. So we got dealt kind of like a weird scenario here with like the setup of this house. So we had this extra concrete slab, right, where I like really debated what to do with it, because prior to like there was nothing here with the plants. So you drive up to the house and it's just concrete. And I was like, I don't really know what to do with like this just extra piece of concrete. So like we painted it and tried to make it look as good as we possibly can. And then we wanted to kind of like cover it up to have some curb appeal. So that's why we put the plants here. I think all things considered, I think we did as good as we possibly could. I'll be honest. I think it looks as good as we can with what we got dealt. And so I'm happy with that. Like I said, new roof, new paint everywhere. And so this house looks pretty good. I think it's gonna, like I said, it did sell actually, fingers crossed, God willing. We didn't even have to put it on the market. Like it literally sold because a neighbor, I'm not gonna point to where they're at, but a neighbor wanted to buy it and live here as well. So, I mean, I was like, hey, absolutely, here's where we need to be at. And they're like, done. So I've actually even gotten multiple calls from that flipping sign that keeps falling over from other neighbors. And so we even have backup offers, which is a good sign. So I don't even have to list it. But also a big thing, if you guys are flipping houses, always put like, you know, just, this is basic, but like realtors do it, why don't we? Always put like a sign of like, hey, you know, I buy houses for cash, give me a call. We've gotten deals from this. We sold this house because of this sign. And yeah, so, you know, I'd buy a little something like this. We're actually gonna make ours look a little bit better, but you know, this is what we have now and it's been working. So I recommend putting those in your flips, or even the houses that you just buy to like wholesale or whatever. I would put something like that in, because you can get deals from it. You can get other people to buy your house, and there's just a lot of perks. So little perk there, little tip. I add those to all of the houses that we buy. And yeah, that's our house in Kissimmee. It should be a good one. Like I said, I will update you with numbers after it closes, because I'm not gonna sit here and jinx myself. So God willing, it goes smooth. It's supposed to be closing within, today's Friday the 17th in April. It's supposed to be closing by the end of the month. If it doesn't, I'm literally gonna cry, because we've extended it. It's just been a nightmare. So fingers crossed, God willing, it closes. And that's our house. Boom. All right guys, so we're at another property here in Kissimmee. This one's actually the one we were at on Honeywood, the one we flipped. This one's like 10 minutes away from, so very close, kind of same general area. But we have shown you a completed flip, we've shown you a like mid-project flip, and this one is actually a wholesale. So we're assigning this property. We're actually not buying it. We have it under contract and we're selling it to another investor, and we're making the spread. So we should be closing on this one in like 2 weeks. And I want to give you a rundown of like what it looks like, kind of like some numbers on it and how we found it. So a guy that is selling us the house, cool dude, older gentleman. He had it as a rental for quite a few years, and he ended up, the tenant started going crazy and beat some stuff up, and he's just older, and he's just like, hey, I've run my course. I don't want to sell it, or I don't want to deal with renting it anymore. So I want to sell it as is. Don't want to do the repairs. So yeah, he was older. He didn't want to deal with the repairs. He's like, hey, I'm done. I'm sailing off in the sunset. I'm like, cool, no worries. So what ended up happening was I gave him a price, and he's like, oh, that doesn't work. Somebody can offer me more. Well, that other person couldn't fulfill their obligation. They couldn't deal with some of the permit stuff. They didn't know how to sort things out. And I was like, hey man, I can do all that for you. Unfortunately, I have to be at this number though, but I can close. And so he called me back up after they couldn't do what they said they were gonna do, and we got the deal. So it's not that bad. I mean, it needs mostly cosmetic stuff. So you come in here, I personally would knock down that whole wall. It needs a brand new kitchen, make this more open, update a few things. There's no pool. There's just like this screened in back porch area. So that's halfway decent. A lot of the homes in this neighborhood are kind of the same, but he started to paint it, which is funny. And I was like, hey man, stop, don't do any more work. But you come back this way and you have where the washer and dryer hookups would be. And then you have 3 bedrooms. So you see that like there's got some water damage. It needs a new bath. So new tile, new, honestly, I don't even know if you can reglaze that tub. New vanities, the whole 9. New flooring throughout. So I would knock out new flooring, paint. He actually already painted, which is pretty nice. New closet doors. So we have that part going on. Here's the master. Whatever, decent size. This is pretty cool. The master bath is pretty decent. So vanity, tub, shower, high ceilings here, and then your toilets over here. So numbers on it, we are under contract at $215. I think you're probably looking at like $50,000 worth of work here, but the ARV for stuff like this is like mid 3s to almost upper 3s, depending on like what kind of product you put out. And we sold it to a buddy of ours for $245. So under contract $215, he's buying it $245. We're making $30 without having to touch anything. So a big thing of what we're doing right now is people are like, oh my God, you're a scummy wholesaler, yada, yada. I'm like, first off, I'm super transparent. I'm solving this man's problem. He doesn't care how much I make. He just wants to know his problem solved. And that's what we're doing, right? I'm transparent about everything. So my buddy's happy because he's gonna make money. We're making money, and the seller's making money, so he's happy. The reason though that we're wholesaling this and not flipping it is I know my limits right now. I only want to flip a certain amount at a time because I don't want to be caught with 10, 15 projects. I'm just not ready to handle that amount yet. We got to scale back up to that. And so I'm only flipping a certain amount, and I'd rather make a quick 30 than a 6-month possible $45,000, $50,000. And so that's like my thought process right now. And maybe I can make a little bit more, right? But like a quick 30 goes a long way, especially in this market when you don't know what the costs are gonna look like, you don't know what's going on, you wanna get in and out of projects. And so velocity of money in this business is really big. So from like lead to getting paid, we're talking like 45 days versus if I flipped it, it's like lead to getting paid is like maybe 7 months, right? And so I would take the quick 30 over the long 50 or 60 versus 7 months. I can take that money, put it right back into marketing, and probably get 3 more deals in that time, as opposed to just waiting for this one to pay out. Plus you got to go and rehab it, and it just takes a lot of time. So you got to know how to kind of level both of them. That's why we do both wholesaling and flipping. I just care about solving people's problems. I'm transparent about it. I'm not going to back out. That's another thing. So like when I tell somebody a number, if it comes down to it and I can't sell it, guess what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna buy the thing because I can buy it. And so I'm not gonna back out on this guy. I told him what's going on and I'm transparent about everything. I gave him my word, and at Arena, we do what we say we're gonna do. So one more thing, right when you come in, you go to the left and you got the garage with a bunch of junk. Oh, he's even got a little extra fridge, but it's clean. This is honestly not that bad. Like these are the types of flips that I don't mind because it's very straightforward. You don't have to move like many walls. There's not really any permits involved. It's basic cosmetic stuff. And that is like the stuff I personally like to do. It's not some $100,000 rehab. Some people that are trying to buy it were like, yeah, man, that's a $90,000 rehab. I'm like, first off, you're either getting screwed or you have no idea about anything. This is like a $50,000 rehab. Floors, new kitchen, new baths, and maybe some paint on the outside, maybe a new AC. I can't remember, but yeah, not too bad. Decent house, clean house. Like I said, this is a wholesale, so I explained what that was, and we do like a mix. I buy a lot of houses, I wholesale a lot of houses, we do a lot of deals, and we're trying to do more. So yeah, that's the update.